All right, everyone, ready to level up. Today we're going to dive deep into Iman Gadzhi's Disappear and Come Back Unrecognizable video.
7 rules to seriously change your life, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because it kind of reminds me of those classic superhero origin
Oh,
stories.
yeah, totally. Like, think Batman.
Exactly. Disappears, goes through intense training, comes back totally transformed.
But instead of fighting crime, we're tackling personal growth, right?
Exactly. So let's jump into rule number 1.
Monk mode.
Monk mode.
Uh,
Sounds intense.
it definitely takes commitment, right?
Yeah.
The idea is like 90 days, 3 whole months, you eliminate distractions, focus on self-improvement.
So basically ditch anything that's holding you back.
Yeah, like social media, partying, bad habits, anything pulling you away from your goals.
So it's like finding your personal kryptonite and just ditching it for a while.
Exactly. It's all about creating this like focused, intentional space for growth.
I like that. An intentional space.
Yeah, and Gadzhi recommends these 3 core things, like non-negotiables.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
30 minutes of exercise every day, 15 minutes of meditation, and no alcohol or weed.
Oh, wow. Okay, so like those are the foundation.
Yeah, they build discipline and mental clarity,
I'm curious though, 90 days, that's a long time. How do people actually stick with it?
Well, he really emphasizes that these core 3, those are non-negotiable.
No matter what.
No matter what. It's about consistency.
Okay.
And then you can add like a few of your own, non-negotiables, but he says to keep it to a max of 6 total.
Okay, so it's about like really being super focused.
Yeah, prioritize and focus your energy on what really matters for your growth.
Okay, so you got your mind right, then what?
Well, then it's time to tackle your outward appearance, right?
Rule number 2.
Dress like $1,000,000.
Dress like $1,000,000. I love that.
Right. You know how good you feel after like a great haircut?
Oh yeah, instant confidence boost.
Yeah. So Gadzhi's saying like find a style that reflects the best version of you.
Okay, but like not everyone has the budget for a whole new wardrobe.
Oh, he's not saying you gotta like break the bank or anything, follow trends. It's more about like consciously choosing clothes that make you feel good and project like the image you want.
So maybe adding a few key pieces.
Yeah, or just paying more attention to how you present yourself.
So it's about intentionality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aligning your inner and outer self.
I like that. Okay, what's next?
Rule number 3, commit to a physical event.
Okay, this one sounds interesting.
Yeah, Gadzhi talks about running a marathon like with hardly any preparation.
Wow. Okay, so like what's the takeaway for the listeners?
I think it's about accountability and setting tangible goals,
Yeah.
know. It's easy to let yourself off the hook with self-improvement, but if you have like a concrete event,
Something with a deadline?
yeah, whether it's a race or a competition or even a presentation at work, it pushes you.
Pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it forces you to follow through.
I love that. So it's like you're proving to yourself you can do hard things.
Exactly. And that builds confidence, and that confidence can spill over into other areas of your life.
Right. So it's not just about like the physical accomplishment, it's the mental toughness.
Yeah, the resilience you develop.
It's like that whole disappear and come back unrecognizable idea
Yeah.
in miniature.
Exactly. You disappear into training, you face challenges, you push yourself, and then you come out the other side
Stronger.
stronger and more capable.
I love it. Okay, so what's rule number 4?
Rule number 4 is all about income-producing activities.
IPAs.
Yeah, or IPAs. This is where, like, the practical side of personal growth comes in.
Yeah, because let's be real, it's hard to focus on self-improvement when you're stressed about money.
Absolutely. Financial stability, it's crucial for pursuing your goals,
Yeah.
achieving freedom.
Yeah.
And Gadzhi, he says there are so many valuable skills you can learn to earn more, no matter your background.
Like what?
He talks about copywriting, video editing, web design. There are so many possibilities.
And it's inspiring to hear how he did it himself.
Oh, yeah. Like he bought his mom her dream house. It shows it's not just theory.
It's about taking action.
Taking action and putting in the work.
So connecting back to the bigger picture, it's about empowering yourself.
Creating the life you want, not just financially, but in all areas.
Okay, I love that. It's about building that foundation.
Yeah, of stability so you can actually focus on the other parts of your transformation.
Okay, so on to rule number 5.
Education is the key.
Education is the key.
This one's always debated,
What's Gadzhi's take?
Well, he kind of challenges this idea of natural talent.
Okay.
He says high earners aren't necessarily geniuses, they're just more knowledgeable in specific areas.
Interesting.
It's about recognizing that success is a result of continuous learning, and skill development.
So it's about being an expert in your field.
Exact.
But that applies to anything.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Business, art, fitness, anything you're passionate about.
And the great thing is, there are so many resources available to help you learn and grow.
That's the beauty of it. So it's about identifying the areas where you wanna expand your knowledge.
Yeah.
And then taking action.
Mm.
Courses, mentors, books, online communities, whatever it takes to become a master.
You disappear into the world of knowledge and emerge with expertise.
Absolutely. Another step in that transformation process, right?
Love it. Okay, what about rule number 6?
Rule number 6. This one's make a promise to a loved one.
Okay, that sounds a little different.
Yeah, it might seem a little out there, but it's really powerful.
How so?
Well, Gadsby talks about promising his mother a better life and how that really fueled his drive.
It's interesting how he brings in that emotional element.
Yeah, he says that having something bigger than yourself to strive for can be incredibly motivating.
Especially when things get tough.
Especially when things get tough. It's like tapping into a deeper source of inspiration.
So it's not just about you anymore.
It's about honoring that promise, and making someone else proud.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here. Monk mode, financial stability, challenging yourself.
Yeah. And I'm noticing a theme here, like each of these rules, they kind of push you out of your comfort zone.
They all embrace change.
Right. It's like each rule is a piece of the puzzle.
And when you put them all together,
You get this comprehensive framework for transformation.
I like that, a framework for transformation. And speaking of frameworks, we've got one more rule to unpack.
Master the art of communication.
This one sounds, I don't know, maybe less dramatic than some of the others.
It might sound basic, but it's just as crucial, trust me.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, Gadsby, see, he says that mastering communication is essential for success in every area of life.
Right.
And it's not just about being a charismatic speaker. It's about thinking clearly, organizing your thoughts, and conveying your ideas precisely.
So it's about thinking and strategizing as much as it is about talking.
Exactly. And this ties into all the other rules we talked about.
How so?
Well, think about it. Like monk mode, that intense focus, right? Communication is all about getting rid of mental clutter, too.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So improving communication actually makes you a clearer thinker overall.
Precisely. And that clarity, it helps you with everything else.
So like when you're tackling those income-producing activities.
Right. Being able to communicate your value, pitch your ideas, or even just manage your finances effectively.
That all stems from good communication.
Exactly. It's like leveling up your internal operating system,
I like that analogy.
so you can run more complex programs.
Okay, so how does someone actually go about mastering communication? It just seems so broad.
Well, Gadsby emphasizes both written and spoken communication.
Yeah.
He suggests practicing regularly, like writing blog posts, giving presentations, or even just having more mindful conversations.
So being intentional with your words.
Exactly, striving for clarity and precision.
So it's not just about being a smooth talker.
No, it's about developing that deep understanding of yourself and your goals through communication.
Okay.
It's about being more self-aware and learning how to effectively convey your thoughts to others.
This is starting to feel less like a single rule and more like a fundamental shift in how you approach the world.
That's a great way to put it. It's about recognizing that communication isn't just about conveying information.
Right.
It's about building connections, influencing others, and ultimately shaping your reality.
Wow. Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be.
Yeah.
So got these 7 rules. They really create this interconnected system for self-improvement.
Exactly. You start with mental discipline, then you add financial stability, you set challenging goals,
Invest in your education. Leverage the power of commitment.
and then you weave it all together through effective communication.
It's like building a house.
Exactly.
Each rule is a different part of the structure, and communication is like the mortar that holds it all together.
It's the foundation for creating lasting change. And what's so exciting is that this transformation, it isn't just about personal gain.
Oh, I'm intrigued. What do you mean?
Well, he focuses on individual transformation, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when you take that transformed self and you re-enter the world.
Right, you're not living in a vacuum.
Exactly. This new you with all this growth, it inevitably impacts the people around you.
That's so true. It's like a ripple effect.
If you change, the world around you changes too.
Exactly. So this raises an important question.
If you disappear and come back unrecognizable, how will you use that newfound strength, clarity, and purpose to make a positive impact?
It's like the superhero origin story coming full circle. You've gone through the training, emerged transformed,
Yeah.
and now it's time to use your powers for good.
Exactly. What will your good be?
I love that question.
Yeah.
So it's not just about disappearing and coming back unrecognizable. It's about coming back and using that transformation to make a difference.
That's it. And that, I think, is the ultimate goal of any true self-improvement journey.
It's not just about ourselves.
It's about contributing to something larger than ourselves.
Okay, I love that. And on that inspiring note, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive. But don't worry, we'll be back soon to continue this conversation.
Definitely. We'll have more insights and some final thoughts to share with you all.
So stay tuned, folks, and keep those brains buzzing.
We'll be right back after a quick break. So before we were talking about how mastering communication, which can seem pretty basic, is actually like essential to this whole idea of disappearing and coming back totally different.
It's like the underlying skill that connects everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like think about monk mode, that intense focus Gadsby talks about. Well, communication is all about clearing out mental clutter too, If you can express yourself really clearly.
It means you've gotten your thoughts organized.
Exactly.
So improving communication actually forces you to become a clearer thinker.
That's it. And that clarity, it helps you with everything else.
Okay, so like when you're working on those income-producing activities?
Right. Being able to communicate your value, pitch your ideas, or even just managing your money well.
It all comes back to communicating.
Exactly. It's like upgrading your brain's software,
I like that analogy. So you can run more complicated programs.
Okay, but how do you actually get better at communication? It seems so broad.
Well, Gadsby, he talks about both written and spoken communication. He suggests practicing all the time, like writing blog posts or giving presentations, or even just having more thoughtful conversations.
So being intentional with the words you use.
Yeah, aiming for that clarity and precision. So it's not just about being like a smooth talker.
No, it's about developing a deep understanding of yourself and your goals.
Through communication.
Through communication. It's about becoming more self-aware and learning how to share your thoughts with others really well.
This is starting to feel less like a single rule and more like a complete shift in how you see the world.
I think you're right. It's about recognizing that communication isn't just about, passing along information. It's about making connections, influencing people, and in the end, shaping your reality.
Wow, that's powerful. So when you look at all 7 of Gadsby's rules together,
they really do create this system for self-improvement.
Yeah, you start with mental discipline.
Uh-huh.
Then you add financial stability. You set those tough goals for yourself.
Invest in learning, use the power of commitment.
And then you tie it all together with communication.
Exactly.
It's like building a house.
It is.
Each rule is a part of the structure, and communication is like the glue holding it all together.
The foundation for real change. And what's exciting is that, this transformation, it isn't just about you.
I'm curious, what do you mean by that?
Well, he focuses on individual transformation, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. What happens when you take that new you and go back out into the world?
You're not alone. You're interacting with people.
Exactly. This new, improved version of you, it affects everyone around you.
That's true. It's like a ripple effect.
If you change, the world changes too.
Right. So that brings up an important question.
If you disappear and come back unrecognizable, how are you going to use that new strength, that clarity and purpose to make a positive impact?
It's like that superhero origin story. You've trained, you transformed. Now what are you going to do with your powers?
Exactly. What will your good deeds be?
That's a great question. So it's not just about disappearing and coming back different. It's about coming back and using that change to do good.
Absolutely. And that, to me, is the real goal of any self-improvement journey.
It's not just about us.
It's about giving back to something bigger.
I love that idea. So as you go on your own journey of transformation, remember, you have the power to make a difference.
It might start small, but even small acts of kindness and generosity can have a huge impact.
They can create real change in the world.
Exactly. So if you're ready to start your own journey, remember to check out Imangadzi's video for more tips and advice.
And don't forget to connect with us on TikTok and YouTube at Angie Podcast. We want to hear about your goals.
And you can support the show and find more resources on our website, https://angieselfdevelopmentandmotivationpodcast.buzzsprout.com.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And until next time, keep learning, keep pushing your limits, and keep working to become the best versions of yourselves. So we've talked about a lot, monk mode, financial stability, the power of communication.
And how that personal transformation can actually ripple outward.
Yeah, it's like you're not just changing yourself, you're coming back and making the world better.
Like a superhero using their powers for good, right?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be this huge thing.
No, not at all. It could be just being a better friend.
Yeah, or using your knowledge to help someone out.
Right. It's about those everyday opportunities where you can use your transformed self to leave a good mark.
And that's what makes this whole idea so exciting.
It's not just self-improvement for yourself. It's about recognizing we're all connected and that our growth can affect a lot of people.
So to wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a question to think about.
Yeah.
Imagine you've done all of God's 7 rules.
You've disappeared, you've put in the work, faced the challenges, and you've come back totally changed.
You're stronger, you're clearer, you're more capable than ever before.
So what's the first thing you do? What change do you make in the world, big or small?
I think that's a really great question. It gets to the heart of why we even do this, self-improvement.
Are we just trying to improve ourselves, or is there something more to it?
It's like that superhero coming back, right?
Sure.
What are you going to do with your new powers?
Exactly. Will you use them to help people, to be kind, to share your knowledge with everyone?
And I think that's where the real magic is.
True transformation, it's not just about changing yourself, it's about inspiring others.
It's about realizing that our personal growth isn't just for us, it's part of something much bigger.
So as you start your own journey of transformation,
Remember, you have the power to make a difference.
it might be small at first, but those acts of kindness and courage, they can really spread and create change.
And if you're ready to get started, go check out Imangadzi's full video. He's got a lot of great advice.
And don't forget to find us on TikTok and YouTube, Angie Podcast. We'd love to hear about your goals.
You can also support us and find more on our website, https://angieselfdevelopmentandmotivationpodcast.buzzsprout.com.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
And until next time, keep learning, keep pushing yourselves, and keep working to become the best versions of yourselves.